Hi everyone.
Hello.
That was quick.
Hello.
Get it. So yeah, hopefully this is the last one. For Rittenhouse testimony. He's at the moment he's been on the stand for a long time. Majority of the day actually.
Having to deal with Binger.
So this should not only be the end of Cross, but also redirect. And I know that the last sort of 10-ish minutes are court matters. And there's also a break which we'll skip. But the court matters obviously will have end. Should we get going, or do you want to say what you think will happen?
I'm hoping for a judge doing a KO again, but it looks like Lunchbox is regretting his life there.
It's like, I shouldn't have been a prosecutor.
I should have driven an ice cream van.
I would like for the redirect to completely just be the most effective redirect
Oh yeah.
that could possibly be. I mean, the fact that there's only... So to the end of the day, there's 42 minutes in total. So that tells me that the redirect kind of has to be short. If there's 10 minutes and then basically 22 minutes-ish, I think, have Cross as well as redirect. And I think we're right on the cusp of Cross ending. So yeah, I think I would like it if redirect is literally, it does what it's meant to do most effectively. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right, should we get on with it?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Pause. You've just shot a round into Anthony Huber's chest, right?
Yes.
Now, up until this moment, and probably for the rest of that evening, that you didn't see any weapons on that person, did you?
No.
You didn't see a gun.
No.
You didn't see a knife.
No.
You didn't see a bat or a club.
No.
You didn't see a chain.
No.
All he uses is 1 foot, correct?
Yes.
Let's continue the video. Pause. You've just shot a round into Anthony, and probably for the rest of that evening, you didn't know the name Anthony Huber, did you?
I did not.
Up until this moment in this evening, you had never had any interaction with him, took any notice of him, fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And when you shoot him, he's got his skateboard in his hand?
Yes.
You didn't see any gun in his hand, correct?
No.
You didn't see a knife?
No.
You didn't see a bat?
No.
You didn't see a club?
No.
All he's got is the skateboard, right?
That he's hit me in the head with twice, yes.
Okay. And you intended to pull the trigger at that moment with your AR-15, correct?
Yes.
That wasn't an accident.
No.
That was your deliberate decision, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that the way that gun was positioned, you were going to fire that bullet right into his chest, right?
He was attacking me, so I pulled the trigger.
And you knew that when you pulled that trigger, that bullet was going to go right into his chest, didn't you?
I can't say, I don't know where the bullet would have went exactly.
The end of that gun was pointed directly at his chest when you pulled the trigger, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that, correct?
Yes.
And you still pulled the trigger, didn't you?
Yes.
Because you intended to kill Anthony Huber at that moment, didn't you?
No.
What did you think was going to happen then? You got a gun that's aimed directly at his chest, you pull the trigger. What did you think was going to happen?
If I didn't pull the trigger, I thought Mr. Huber was going to kill me.
Maybe I'm phrase my question. Let me try again. When you pull the trigger of the AR-15 and it is directly against Anthony Huber's chest, what did you think was going to happen to Anthony Huber?
That he would no longer be a threat to my safety.
Because he'd be dead, right?
Because he wouldn't be a threat to me. I don't know if he'd be dead or not.
Did you even care at that moment whether or not Anthony Huber lived and died?
Yes.
Your only concern in that moment was your own safety, correct?
Yes.
The next shooting is of Gage Grosskreutz. We have stopped the video at a moment here when he is crouched in front of you with his hands in the air, correct?
Yes.
Your gun is pointed at him, isn't it?
It's pointed downward towards his feet.
It's pointed at his body, some part of his body, correct?
Yes.
And he's no threat to you at this moment, is he?
Objection, Your Honor. He's standing in front of him with a gun.
That's an argument you can make. I'm asking a question of the witness.
You can answer the question.
Yes.
He's no threat to you at this moment, is he?
He is a threat. He has a gun in his hand.
You saw that gun.
Yes.
So at the moment, throughout all of these moments of your interaction with Mr. Grosskreutz, you were aware of the fact that he had that gun in his hand, correct?
Not until that moment.
I'm talking about from this moment on, correct?
Yes.
And of course, that's a handgun, right?
Yes.
And you have an AR-15, correct?
Yes.
And at this particular moment, he's not pointing his gun at you, is he?
Not at that moment.
But you've got your gun pointed at him, correct?
Looking at the video, I think I'm lowering my weapon. I think it's just a still shot of where you have it to where that, but I believe in the whole video I'm lowering it, and then he points his gun at me.
Can you help me understand, Mr. Rittenhouse, why Gage Grosskreutz, with a pistol in his hand, is a threat to kill you, but you, with an AR-15 pointed at him, is not a threat to kill him at this moment? Can you help me understand that?
I've been attacked by several people, and he decided to come and point a gun at my head. Well, first,
He hasn't done that yet, has he?
No.
So again, I ask you, in this moment, you told us Gage Grosskreutz is a threat to you right now.
Yes.
He's got a pistol not aimed at you. You've got an AR-15 aimed at him. Why is he more of a threat to you than you are to him?
Because he was moving at me with a gun in his hand.
This is right after you've killed Anthony Huber, correct?
Yes.
Right after you fired 2 shots at almost point-blank range at the man running towards the camera right now and missing him, correct?
Yes.
And you're telling us Gage Grosskreutz is the real threat at this moment?
Yes.
Can we please pull up exhibit number 80, beginning at frame 468? On the go, 100 video that we just watched. 729 frames from the BG on the go video that we just watched. This was prepared by James Armstrong of the State Crime Lab. I'm not going to show all 729, but I'd like to start at frame 468, and we're going to go frame by frame from there until frame 500. Mr. Stute, could you please slowly advance frame by frame until I tell you to stop? Mr. Rittenhouse, this is immediately after Gage Grosskreutz has stopped in front of you and you are doing something with your firearm at that moment. Do you recall that?
Yes.
You were asked some questions about what you were doing at that moment. Is it fair to say that you turn your firearm over and you're looking at it, you're examining it?
Yes.
But your testimony is you didn't do anything to actually manipulate it at that moment.
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. Please continue. Frame 500 shows you firing your AR-15 towards Gage Grosskreutz. At this particular moment, he does not have that pistol pointed towards you, does he?
He does.
His left leg has stepped across not directly towards you, but to the side of you, correct?
Yes.
He's reaching in with his left arm towards you, correct?
Yes.
He never steps back and puts the gun in both hands in a ready aim position towards you, does he?
He doesn't do that.
He never takes that gun with his right hand and stands there and holds it out with his right hand in front of him and aims it directly at you, does he?
No, he does this pointing it directly at my head.
And you thought that's the way he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought he ran up close to you to shoot you?
Yes.
You understand that he could have taken that gun if he wanted to and shot you from 10, 15, 20 feet away, right?
Can you sorry, I'm trying to understand the question.
You understand that a pistol like that doesn't need to be right up close to someone to shoot, right?
Yes.
It can shoot from 10, 15, 20 feet away, right?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskreutz could have stopped 10, 15, 20 feet away if he wanted to shoot you and fired his pistol at you, couldn't he have?
He could have, but he didn't.
And your testimony is that you believed he ran up close to you and reached in with his left hand with his gun in his right hand because that was his way of using this gun to shoot you?
Yes.
Did you think he was reaching in to grab your gun?
No.
You didn't think he was going to take your gun away, did you?
I thought he was going to shoot me.
With his pistol,
Yes.
which he never actually does. Correct?
Correct.
He never fires that gun at you at all.
No.
In fact, in this entire sequence of events, no one ever fired a gun at you, did they?
Mr. Zeminski fired a gun from behind me.
Did Mr. Zeminski fire that gun at you?
I believe so.
What do you base that on? Did you see it?
The video.
Did you see it?
No.
You're talking about back when the incident with Mr. Rosenbaum happens, correct?
Yes.
That happened while you and Mr. Rosenbaum are running across the car source lot, correct?
Yes.
At that moment in time, you didn't see Joshua Zeminski fire a shot, did you?
No.
You heard a gunshot, right?
Yes.
But you had no idea who fired it.
I believed it was Mr. Zeminski.
So that gunshot did not at all factor into your decision to kill Joseph Rosenbaum, did it?
No, Mr. Rosenbaum trying to steal my gun did.
So you didn't think that was a gunshot from Joseph Rosenbaum?
No.
You knew he didn't have a gun?
Wait a minute. Oh, I see what your question is now. Okay. You didn't think that the shot, which had been fired supposedly by Mr. Zeminski, had been fired by Mr. Rosenbaum.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So you heard a gunshot. You now know that was Joshua Zeminski based on watching the videos, right?
Yes.
But at the time, you didn't think that was Joseph Rosenbaum firing that shot, did you?
No.
You knew Joseph Rosenbaum didn't have a gun, right?
Yes.
And you certainly would agree with me that you don't have the right to kill Joseph Rosenbaum for something Joshua Zeminski does, correct?
Yes.
When you heard that gunshot, you didn't know whether it was fired at you or up in the air or at Rosenbaum or anyone else, did you?
I heard it from behind me, but I didn't.
You didn't know where it was aimed.
Correct.
Correct? You didn't feel it hit you. Correct?
Correct.
You didn't hear it ricochet anywhere near you. Correct?
Correct.
You received no indication that that gunshot was going to put your life in danger. Correct?
I don't know.
There were gunshots going off all night long, weren't there?
Sorta.
Firecrackers,
Fireworks,
gunshots?
yeah.
Hard to tell the difference?
Yeah.
Right after you kill Rosenbaum, there's 3 shots right after that, aren't there?
Yes.
From very close to where you were.
Yes.
Yet you don't turn and shoot anybody there after you hear those, did you?
No.
So, getting back to my original question, in this entire sequence of events, no one ever fired a shot at you, did they?
No.
After you kill Anthony Huber, shoot Gage Grosskreutz, and attempt to fire those 2 shots at the person who jumped at you, you got up and you walked away, didn't you?
Yes.
And you're about, what, a block away from the police line?
Yes.
And you know that police line's there because you're running towards it.
Yes.
And there's really nothing in the road between you and that police line, is there? After the shooting? Everybody
No.
scatters?
No, nothing in the road.
So you have a clear line of sight from where you did those shootings to those law enforcement vehicles, correct?
Yes.
And you still have your AR-15,
Yes.
and the crowd is pretty much run after they hear the shots, right?
Yes.
You still have your medic bag,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
You never once offer to help anybody that you just shot, correct?
I don't.
Correct, you don't?
Correct.
Anthony Huber is lying there over on the ground after you shot him once in the chest, correct?
Yes.
You didn't know at that point whether he was alive or dead, did you?
I didn't.
You never went over to check, did you?
No.
You didn't know whether it was possible to save his life at that moment or not, did you?
I didn't.
And you didn't even care. You just kept on walking. Correct?
I kept walking to get to the police line.
Gage Grosskreutz, right after you shoot him in the arm, is yelling, "I need a medic." Did you hear that?
Yes.
That's in the videos, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't do anything to help him, do you?
No.
You just decide to get out of there as fast as you can. Correct?
Yes.
If you had seen someone running up the street with a gun and the crowd was saying that that person just shot someone, like they were saying about you, you would have taken action to stop them yourself, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't have.
You're running around putting out fires, aren't you?
Yes.
A shooting's far more serious than a fire, isn't it?
Yes.
You took it upon yourself to do the things that the police and the fire departments weren't doing that night, correct?
I helped put out fires, but I wouldn't say that.
You went around offering medical service because you didn't think there were EMTs or EMS that would be able to come in there, correct?
Yes.
So you took it upon yourself to do the things that you didn't think the police or fire could do, correct?
I wouldn't say I took it upon myself, but I was helping people with first aid and putting out fires at businesses.
So if you saw someone running with a gun and everybody said, that guy just shot someone, you would have taken your AR-15 and tried to stop him, wouldn't you?
What's the relevance of this, Mr. Mayor?
It goes to the crowd's reaction to him, Your Honor. I think he would have reacted the same way.
Mr. Rittenhouse is on trial. The crowd is important in terms of it's a factor that bears on some of the counts as to what the surroundings were. Otherwise, the crowd is unimportant, and what he might have done vis-a-vis the crowd is, I don't see where we're going.
Understood. When you got back to that police line and what'd you say, they pepper sprayed you?
I believe so, but I don't remember it.
They told you to get out of the road
Yes.
because they were going in there
Yes.
to do what you hadn't done, which is to try and help the people that you just shot, right?
Yes.
And then you went back after that to the 59th Street car source, didn't you?
Yes.
And you told them that you just shot someone.
Yes.
Someone, meaning an individual person, correct?
I wasn't meaning individual. I was saying I just shot someone. I just shot someone.
You were told by Nick Smith that the police were coming to your location, to the 59th Street car source, right?
I don't recall that.
And yet, you decided to flee, didn't you?
No.
You didn't stick around for the police, did you?
I went to go turn myself into the Antioch Police Department
A couple of hours later.
an hour.
Actually, it wasn't a couple hours. Who knows what time it was?
I'm asking the witness if the witness can answer.
Go ahead, you can answer, sir.
It was a couple of hours later, wasn't it?
No.
And in between leaving that location in downtown Kenosha and getting to Antioch, you were looking at social media, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. My phone was dead.
You had heard from other people that your name was out there, right?
Later on in the evening, I believe I heard something, but no.
You knew that your picture was out there, right?
No.
You're telling me, as you sit here under oath, that after those shootings, between then and the time you turned yourself into the Antioch Police Department, you had no idea that there was social media out there with your picture and your name as the shooter?
I'm trying to recall, but I can't. I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I have no further questions.
I have nothing on that, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir.
Your Honor, I have a witness. But before that, call that witness. I need to use the men's room.
About a 5 to 10 minute break. Please don't talk about the case during the break. You may either use the jury room or you may remain down here in the library. Is aid is
Object to it. It's beyond the scope of the court. There's a new report that we just received,
okay?
and I object to it. It's beyond the scope of the court's order, and it's untimely.
Is it differ from the former report?
Your Honor, the only thing that is different is it adds the new discovered video from Friday.
It also gives his opinions as to what the defendant was doing that night and his self-defense and what he was thinking and believing, etc., the pursuit, etc. There's a lot of opinions in here about what the defendant was doing. The court's order
Well,
on
let me
this...
just interrupt. I think I stated that I would allow the imaging sequences, the measurement of that, and I think I said I would allow the observations he had made about the capacity of people to observe multiple objects. That's a poor way of summarizing it. That type of data, and when he talked about the car accidents, and I think it was limited to that. So he may have left over impressions or opinions, but I don't expect I would be admitting any of that.
And I'm not intending to.
Okay.
This new written report has those, so I am objecting. It should not be admitted into evidence or shown to the jury.
All right. I don't expect it will be, and if he's offered, it'll unless he's got some astonishing justification, then it won't be admitted because I said I wasn't.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the question becomes, how long will this take? Shame on me, it's 20 to 5.
It's been a long day, too. I don't know if you
Yeah.
knew that.
But he's come here from Oregon, and you want to get him in.
Well, no, you're available tomorrow, first thing?
Okay. I don't want to start without him, right?
I mean, if I thought you could get your direct in 20 minutes,
Absolutely not.
then why don't we wait until tomorrow? Well, I shouldn't say that. Tell me what is expected course of the case after that, because maybe I would let you if it.
With this witness, 3.
3? Raise your right hand.
That's what we have under subpoena. Well, Mr. Black isn't under subpoena. We have Drew Hernandez and Bray to clear up the racking, the spent shell casings, and what evidence was recovered for each
I
item.
don't want to. I thought Officer Van Wee testified to emptying the gun when at the hospital.
At the crime scene,
Yeah.
number 2, event
Right.
number 2, the state is saying that my client, Paige
I know what's
Grosswitz,
being
re-racked
said.
the gun. If there
Yeah,
was a
I understand that, and I thought that Officer Van Wee said that there was a full except for 8 shots, 8 bullets.
But there was no, the word I'm looking for, live round found at event number 2. So if there was a re-racking of that bolt, there would have been a live round. And
Oh,
there
see,
were-
I counted and I came up with a full load, even without any bullet being found.
Maybe I'm just, and additionally, that Mr. Grosswitz said he didn't know whether or not his gun had one in the chamber. Lukowski testified to it, and in fact, there is a live round right on the ground.
Oh, this is what your third. Okay, well, let's deal with the realities of it. Unless you gentlemen are prepared to tell me that you're going to send me your proposed instructions on within by 4, like 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and unless you're going to tell me that you're going to argue for less than an hour and a half each, then we're going to end up either working Saturday or working on Monday. So let's take a vote here, because the jury did clear Tuesday, and of course, I think I read once that Abraham Lincoln, when he took a vote on the Emancipation Proclamation, all the votes were no. And then he said, but the deciding vote is aye. And so I'm going to take a vote about what you folks want to do, but that doesn't mean it's going to come out the way you want. So who wants to work Saturday?
I'll work Saturday, I'll work Monday, I'll do whatever the court asks me.
Who wants to come back on Monday? Okay, so it's 1 to they don't care to I'm going to vote with you on Monday. So okay, so I know. Is it okay if I tell the jury we are hopeful that we will conclude the case on Monday? I understand that. Is there going to be extensive rebuttal?
I don't think it's going to be extensive, but
Yeah.
we do reserve the right to call
Sure,
rebuttal, yes.
yeah, I understood. Well, maybe I'll tell them I expect that we'll finish in the time which was given to us, which was included Tuesday. And we'll see what happens. All right. Anything else before I call the jury down? Oh, and then I'm going to dismiss them for the day, and we'll start in the morning with Dr. Black. Anything else?
Do you want the instructions by 7? Is that what you would?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So email.
But if you, are you telling me that would be,
No, I'm telling you that I'll do whatever you want.
if you want by 8?
Okay. We're talking just about the count 6, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll send you my preliminary. No, I won't do that. I'll send you my preliminary tonight. As long as we're not going to argument until next week, I'm not even going to promise that. Let's just, cool. All right. Let's call the jury down, dismiss them for the day. You don't have to send me anything tonight, and I won't send you anything.
Okay. I don't really see the point in seeing the jury being dismissed for the day. I am quite surprised that there was no redirect, actually. I guess they felt Carl did good enough. They didn't need to.
Yeah.
He answered the questions and there was nothing to, correct, I guess, or clarify.
Probably for that being a manager think he's on ship.
Yeah. Well, I do. I wish that they had clarified on asking Carl why. Why did you shoot Joseph Rosenbaum? Why did you shoot Anthony Huber? Why did you shoot Jump Kick Man, who's never been identified, which I find weird? Why did you shoot Gage Grosskreutz? To clarify all of that and show the videos at the normal speed.
Yeah.
With like a timer or something at the bottom.
Yeah.
So then they can see exactly how long it was. None of this frame by frame bullshit. I think that's... And also to ask Kyle, why didn't you help Rosenbaum? Why didn't you help Huber? Why didn't you help Jump Kick Man? I don't even know if he was injured. Why didn't you help Grosskreutz? Because I think clarification on... I mean, any reasonable person wouldn't help someone who had just tried to kill them.
No.
And had come at them multiple times.
Especially not when they're chased by an angry mob.
Shouting, get him.
Yeah.
But I think if they had clarified, if they got Kyle to answer why he didn't help them, there'd be no reason for doubt about it. I mean, it could have simply have been, I was scared.
Yeah.
Because people were still shouting for others to get me. I wanted to help, but I was scared of being killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to get to the police to be safe. To turn myself in, and so that I wouldn't be killed by the mob of people running after me. Like, I'm actually really quite surprised that there was no redirect. So that was my chat. We need oil on it. What do you think? How do you think it went?
Yeah, he did pretty good for being haunted the house by and being he did answer.
He did really good on the what?
He did very good on answering.
I thought you said hunted out.
He was getting hunted out by Binger.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
He's like
Attacked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Binger, you should be happy he doesn't have a gun on him. He'd come after you. Self-defense. Haha.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm absolutely certain there's stuff that's been cut out, because I remember specifically Carl's attorney objecting, saying that these are moments in time. Now, I can't remember if I'm remembering from another point, but I do remember, I'm so certain that it was whilst Kyle was on the stand, and I don't know if that was in a previous video. I don't think it's been in a previous video that we've done with Kyle's testimony. But I remember him saying it because he was objecting to it, objecting to the line of questioning. And I remember, in fact, it might have been in an earlier React video that we did.
Yeah.
Does it sound familiar to you?
It does.
But there was also, so you know the picture where Binger was saying that it had been magnified.
Yeah.
And I think it's Richards. I thought it was Mark's, but it's Carl's attorney. He said it'd been that they'd basically added the pixels.
Yeah.
They didn't, but AI did to
Yeah.
come up with the picture itself. So when Binger was going on about asking Kyle about him pointing his gun at Zeminski, that was that picture.
Yeah.
But you could see it, it looked like a PS2 rendering of a gun. And it's like, it doesn't even look, it just looks like it's just been AI generated. Possibly. But I remember seeing that in the live stream of it. So it seems like they cut it out, maybe.
Yeah, most probably.
Because I remember seeing it. Because I thought it was egregious that they tried to get that shit in.
There is other parts that have been cut and so on. They did. Yeah. So most probably they cut it out.
Or it's because day 8 there's court matters. At the beginning of the day, and then day 9 is all court matters. Which I find interesting. Day 10 is closing statements. But yeah. What do you think? How do you think Carl did?
He did pretty good. He did pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering what was said to him to keep him from breaking down again, like he did at the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know. It must have been quite a pep talk.
I'm actually really quite surprised at how well he handled himself. The fact that he wasn't arguing with Binger.
No.
Although it seemed like Binger was trying to argue with him.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just... It kind of come across as like seeing a teenager bully a child is really quite pathetic. It's like, okay, dude, calm down. He might be 18, but he's still very much a kid.
Also, when that didn't work, he argued with the judge instead.
I don't understand how Binger actually thought that ending on that cross was a slam dunk. Like, there was nothing powerful about it. It wasn't. There was no revelation in there. There was nothing profound. It just come across as him being an argumentative twat.
Oh, yeah.
That just couldn't... One, didn't like context, and two, couldn't seem to understand that maybe Kyle's perspective at that point was survival. And adding thought process into a situation that is literally seconds, like milliseconds, fractions of a second in time, and you're expecting him to, as a 17-year-old that's never been in that situation before, you're expecting him to make adult, mature decisions.
No.
And I'm not saying it's an immature thing to kill someone.
Mm.
However, clearly he did not have the mental capacity to fully understand why going there was a bad idea in the first place.
Mm.
Why going on your own was a bad idea to anywhere.
Well, Binger, he expected him to die. That's what was he.
Well, yeah.
If someone assaults you, you are expected to die and not do anything against it.
Well, you do. Well, unless you have a gun, bat, club, hammer, knife, chain, you're not being attacked. You can't be attacked.
Yeah.
You can't fear for your life otherwise. Someone charging at you like a fucking lunatic, you can't be scared of your life.
No.
Someone hitting you full force at a downward trajectory, so there's more force into the hit anyway, twice. You can't fear for your life at your head.
Yeah.
You can't fear for your life.
No.
Someone pulling a gun on you and looking to aim it at your head and going to shoot it.
Yeah.
You can't fear for your life.
No.
Whilst you're on the ground, whilst you're running away from them, whilst you're on the ground.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to fear for your life in Binger's logic.
Yep.
Because why would you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand how he thought that would work well with that jury. With any jury, not just that jury, with any jury. I don't understand how he thought that would go across well. Especially in America at the time that they're in. So if a horde of people running at me, I'd be fucking shitting my pants. I'd be thinking, okay, they're coming to kill me.
Yeah.
As soon as someone puts their hands on me, I'm fucking lighting them up. I don't give a shit. My life or theirs, and my life to me matters fucking more.
Yeah.
That might sound selfish. I don't care.
No, Binger's logic is unlogical.
Binger's logic is Binger's logic. Goes in circular motions. It's a little chimp in a clown car.
He would be the one going out, on a train track, screaming in fear for weeks and weeks until the train finally hits him.
Yeah.
That's like, instead of just walking off, because that would be illogical. You should let the train hit you.
Yeah. And remember, it doesn't have a gun.
Yeah.
Or a bat. Or a club. So you can't fear for it. Why are you fearful? That's unreasonable. Anyway, should we get going?
Yeah.
Right. If you have any comments or thoughts, what was your opinion of Kyle's testimony? I mean, you can agree with us or not. Just, if you want to put your opinion down below, you can. Be interested to know other people's perspective on it. Because obviously there's people that know a lot more about this case and know a lot more about, American laws and things like that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know that, you can still put your opinion. It's a free country. Woo!
Yep.
You can leave a like or a dislike, subscribe or don't. But if you leave a like or subscribe or even leave a comment, it does help the channel out quite a bit. And stay hydrated. Don't eat yellow snow and wear sunscreen.
And beware of the seagulls and do not feed them.
And pet a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.